Be willing to put your pride aside and make your relationships work.
Hi guys, happy Sunday. This is me say happy Sunday with hopes that I can edit this video and put it out today. Amen.
We shall see.
So today, I have finally found this woman that ran away from me. It's not ran away from me, but she ran away from me and I finally caught her. And she's tied right now next to me.
Help me.
Blink twice if you need help. Anyways, I just felt like it was a good opportunity to start with her. I have a couple of videos I've not put out yet, but I think I'm going to put out this one, starting with her, because Lola and I have a very beautiful relationship. Our friendship goes way back, but in recent times, I've learned a lot from our friendship and the friction that our friendship has had. For example, she has had to change location twice since the first time I met you, and I'm also not stable. I'm quite mobile, and I know that has affected our relationship a bit, not a bit, a lot. Yeah, caused some kind of tension and friction, especially because I have the kind of personality that a lot of people, they marinate in it recently. They embrace it, they own it, they like to, put it on their pocket to say, oh, I'm not the type of person that knows how to keep relationships.
They champion
it. They champion it. And I was like that. I'm changing because I'm learning better, but I didn't used to know how to manage my relationships well. I just invest in them a lot. And I'm trying to do that, trying to nurture my relationships better. So if there's one thing you want to share, because I think we're healing our relationship now. So if there's one thing you want to share that you've learned in this particular journey, just something. I'm not trying to advise you guys. I do whatever I want to do in your life. Do what works for you, bro. Don't say one in your other.
I mean, when you advise somebody, not be like, but anyway, do you? Okay, so I'm a well of wisdom.
Come on.
There's just so much that you bring me.
That's why I changed you, so that I can. Sorry.
As I was saying, please, to normal human beings, I have a lot of things actually to say, and it's not even just for my friendship with her, because I believe that friendship takes a lot of work, and people expect it, just like they expect a relationship. Any kind of relationship takes a lot of work, and they expect it to be seamless and all. So there's a lot I have to say, but I think the one thing that I would say for people in this generation, that it can be easy to just be an individual that stands as an island on your own.
Yeah.
You can just be like, you know what, I don't have friends. And some people even like, they're proud of saying that, well, I don't actually have friends. I'm alone. I just know one person.
Lone Ranger.
It's terrible. Let me just tell you. I see they are dating somebody, the person doesn't have friends. Run away.
Yeah.
It's a red flag.
Red flag. No, red flag.
A red tea. Because nobody can. Human beings are not operated, or sorry, we're not used to operate in isolation.
Yeah.
So I think what I'll say is that please be willing to put your pride aside and make your relationships work.
So was I proud?
I was humble. I don't know about you.
No, I don't think I was proud though.
No, I'm just saying that you have to
be to put your pride. I just talk about our relationship now.
And I'm like, we put our pride aside now.
I'm proud.
No, we put our pride aside.
Fine.
You guys can see a little girl is looking at us.
Really, I'm going to blow her face or something. Just
yeah.
But are you trying to say I was proud?
No, I'm saying that usually now.
Just on what's carefully.
When there's a friction, can you allow me to speak? When there's friction between two people, and when there are like issues between people, I think sometimes you can tend to just be like, just look at things from our own perspective.
Whatever will be shy.
Do you get? Look at it from my own perspective. I've done my best, so there's nothing else I can do. If this friendship will last, it will last.
Yeah, true.
But you should be able to accept when you were wrong, and even when you are not wrong, you should be able to be like, you know what, I value this person. In a different case, if eventually find out that relationship was not going anywhere, then you let it rest.
But that's after you have tried to do something about it.
Friendship breakups are terrible, but sometimes some breakups are inevitable.
And I low-key feel like friendship, not low-key, high-key, feel like friendship breakups are more painful than. Because I remember getting a message from Lola, and this girl legit told me, she said, she has made peace But person now, she has made peace,
I know
and
they struggle.
she's just bringing this up like if it's not going to work out, she just let her know that if I want to make her an outer court friend, right? I should just let her know like she's not interested in trying to force anything, and she's just saying this not to make me feel bad or for me to say sorry, because in time past, because I had this feeling like she knows that I'm juggling a lot of things and I had not found balance. And balance is like a myth. I think that it's not possible for you to get 100% balance. You just have to prioritize and power through some things. So I just felt like, oh, because she knew that I had a lot of things going on, I had too many times trying to juggle. She was aware. I just expected that because she's aware, she should 100% understand and just follow the tide, which did not make any sense and was quite selfish on my end. And so when I received that message from her, and she's like, she just wants to know so that she know that we're the type of people that want to document once in how many months, so that she knows, and then there's clarification on both ends, and
there's no bitterness.
My heart went like this. No, it's different. Like there's some people that I get that kind of message from. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, because we're not friends per se, yeah, and that's okay. And I think that that's something that we need to learn. You don't compensate people's niceness or people's favor to you with friendship. You don't.
Or I think a better way to word it would be that assign everybody correctly.
And that's what I'm trying to say, that some people say some people are their friends because, oh, I met you somewhere and you were really nice to me, or you did something for me that really impacted me, and next thing I think I want to dash you friendship.
Or maybe we met first. Those of us have gone up to camp NYSC. You know that there are some people you meet and then you click off with. And actually I have like 2 wonderful friendships from camp. With a guy and with a girl. And they are not necessarily my inner thoughts, but there are people that when we speak. We are actual friends to each other. One of them was my roommate for a while, said you get. But,
that's pretty big.
Yeah, so but the thing is that when you're on camp for those 3 weeks, you're not really interfacing with the outside world. You meet people and then you hit it up with them. And then some people now expect that afterwards they have become your best friends.
Yeah.
It does not really work like that.
Yeah, labels too are very risky.
Yes, don't be so quick to label a thing, especially
advising them. Don't advise them.
Well, no, okay. So what? Well, you asked a question and I answered the question. And you're the one that took it to the advising part.
I didn't take it.
She's a podcaster,
That's true. My Instagram and TikTok people do not know that I have a podcast. Maybe that's something that I also need to work on alongside healing my relationship.
She has a podcast called Unboxing Conversations on Spotify
and Apple Podcast.
Go and look at it.
Yeah, go check it out. I have fun conversations going on there.
It's not fun. It's just deep. You think about your life.
Oh yeah, stop by if you want. Stop by.
The reason why I started with what I said is that because the first thing you do before you now start looking at other things is that you have to come from a place of I want to make this work. Not that I'm trying to prove a point or I'm trying to settle scores. And I guess it's the same thing. Like if you're a guy and a girl and we're in a relationship, I have to come from the point that I'm putting my pride aside. I want to make this work. Once you have that in place, it's not going to be hard for you to now employ the other techniques that you need to use in order to make your friendship work even through the difficult times.
And if you want to take it in reverse, I think that we need to value, the way if you want to sell up a property or you want to retain it, you value the property to know, okay, the work.
Like you said, value our relationship. If it was another friend that was not really close, I only have about, let's say, 4 people that I can do this with. If it was somebody I'm not really close to, I might not have been.
1 minute on silent. Sorry, continue.
As I was saying, like if it's somebody else, it's not like I will not care, but then because of the fact that the nature of a relationship does not require that level of intimacy and consistency. It will be like if we are not talking every day or every week,
like it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter,
and it doesn't affect what we have.
It doesn't affect, because when we talk. But there are some kinds of relationship, just like you can't go a day or two without talking to your boyfriend. It's not going to make any sense.
True.
So there's a kind of for people that have boyfriend.
Some people are going 2 days, 3 days talking to their boyfriend.
You are not in a relationship.
I don't know which one you guys are from.
If you have dated somebody, you have not spoken for 1 week. No, you have broken up.
Yeah. No, let's be realistic. If you're dating somebody, let me speak for myself. I'm dating somebody, and you go a whole day without speaking to me. That we have broken up. I just know that
it's very extreme. I can give you 48 hours, but then you will beg for like 1 month.
I give you 48 hours. No, and that's the thing. I don't even have the luxury of time to make you beg. So I can't give you that. I think we have debated because it's getting too interesting. But I wanted to ask a question. So Classic example, and I'm not going to mention names, but it's something we can relate to, and I think I can paint a bit of picture. So there was one time when we were doing our IT together, where we were just talking about how there was someone we knew that was doing really well. Do you remember her? That was doing really well. She started doing a lot of things at a very young age, and it was quite inspiring. Yeah, and it was just beautiful to see that she was doing so many things at the same time. But because she wasn't really a close friend per se, we could just admire from far and stuff. So what happens if this person is really close by, especially in seasons of your life where you are not doing that well, and it's not like you don't want to, it's that you're just not doing that well, right? Maybe the circumstances around your life, or just the season you find yourself in has not allowed you to be that expressive, work in the visions that you want to work in, execute the ideas you have in your mind, or even the ones you're executing, they don't seem to be taking up as fast as you want to, and then you have people in your circle that seem to be, everything is just bouncing off and making sense. So how do you deal with that? Because I know that everybody's like, oh yeah, just, support your friends, push them forward. And yeah, you can actually do that too. So there's no bitterness, there's no guile. You genuinely love them, you're supporting them, you support the vision that they have and everything. But at the same time, you can't help but compare because they are your people. And you begin to feel like, oh, it will not get to the point where this person is going to make it and just feel like they don't need me anymore in their circle because, and it's not about, I'm not talking about fame or popularity now. I'm talking impact and actually making meaning out of your life and fulfilling the visions that God, has for your life. So how do you handle that? The question is already too long. Answer.
I think it might sound crazy to you, but there are some times that I feel like that
With me.
Yes. Yes, now. I'm
I
serious.
may cut this out of the camera, but are you joking with me? What am I even doing?
I said what I said.
Oh yeah. Let's get back on.
So I think the most important part of it was in the question you said this person is someone that is close to you.
Yeah.
Right. I think if it is a friendship that is actually genuine, you can have a conversation about it. Right. And it's not so that you can be like, oh, I want to tell you that you're doing so much better than me, but like I feel like okay, I love and respect everything that you are and everything that is that you're doing, but sometimes it just feels that I'm lacking compared to you. Have a conversation about it. Because if it's someone that is a correct person as your friend, I think it's something that you can also get insider information
On how
to do it.
But you don't have conversation with me.
Calm down now.
Yeah.
Calm down. On how to do it, number one, and number two, on even the realities of it. Because sometimes we tend to glamorize. We see things as
especially internet and
we tend to glamorize. We see that maybe somebody got into a particular job and you're like, oh my god, their life must be so perfect right now. And then they're letting you know that this job that I got now, I'm barely sleeping 3 hours a night. Are you ready for that reality? You get to learn, okay, this is what this thing entails. So you now know, okay, first off, it's not always all that glitters that is actually gold. It might be gold, but there's no rose that doesn't have its thorns. And then number two, you also get
well of wisdom.
And number two, you also get because this person is close to you, you have access. I think with sometimes even me, I'm falling into that trap of you have access to something that other people are begging to have access to. Instead of maximizing it, you are feeling intimidated by it. You get so. Somebody else that has 1 minute with this your friend that you're talking about would take out a notepad, teach me, tell me how to do it, and you apply it. You get, or you as a friend, you'll be like, I'm happy for you. And take out your notepad. There's nothing bad in. That's why I told you that time that send me that video of your debates, because I'm interested in public speaking, right? And over the past few weeks, I've had to do a lot of impromptu speeches, and I'm someone that knows how to look back at something I did and be like, this is, and I know that I'm not there yet. And there was something I saw in the way that you presented yourself. No, I just get and teach me. Yeah. Do you get? So you can learn from your dollars, baby. Bring your dollars. No. But like I said, the access that you have to that person is your advantage. You get advantage. Somebody that is working in line with something you want to do. Sit down and learn. True. Sit down and learn. And it does not take. Okay, continue. It does not take anything from you. It does not mean that you have become less than, because you will find that life is in seasons. And even tell your friend, there are some things that probably that is within you that they're also looking at, and they're like,
True, and so I think that's where I wanted to bring that perspective I was going to bring in. Thank God you got to that point. That when you now have conversations with your friends, then you can now check if the metrics to measure your success is the same metrics they are using to measure. Because the things that you may see in them that you feel is successful may not be something that they look at and say, oh, I'm doing well based off this, right?
lastly, I would say one thing, and this is not about you because life is not selfish,
Yeah.
right? One thing that you should do is never admire quietly, in the words of Chimamanda. If your friend is doing something that you really admire, let them know. Because you don't know, a lot of them are they are going through different things. Maybe they are experiencing it imposter syndrome at that period.
Yeah.
They are maybe they are on the outside looks like they are successful, but on the inside they are going through a lot of, and you come up to them like, wow, I really admire this thing that you do.
And when you do that, it kind of oils them.
It allows them, it
Yeah.
sponsors them to do more.
Okay, I think I should share a moment from that. So I remember when I just launched my podcast and I did it so half-heartedly. Not because the podcast was not mean anything to me, honestly, because I've been thinking of doing a podcast since like years now, and I think you're even a better person to speak about that. I've been talking about doing a podcast for a very long time, so it wasn't like a recent thing, of course, everybody's carrying my these days, yeah. But when I launched it, I didn't promote it the way Lola promoted my podcast. Like, I woke up every day to Lola's status. She will post a TikTok video. You know how business owners find videos that tell you about something they're selling. She will post a TikTok video that talks about, oh, you know this trend where you say, oh, as a lady.
As a lady.
Right? And I remember she put in the caption that, you know, my friend's podcast is not one that will make you scroll like this. Those things really made me feel like, oh wow, I knew what I said, and I knew that I didn't just wake up and said those things. I was very, you know, it was intentional what I said, you know, inspired by the Holy Ghost, but I was very intentional about it. So, and I knew the value that was in it, but the way she carried it made me feel much more valuable than I already felt. So it made me feeling valuable, but it amplified that feeling for me, and that really made me even push it out more, because I was not feeling bad that if my friend is promoting this thing like this, people that know her and know me do not check my people and say what's going on. You know, so, and that really made me have a lot of confidence in podcast. So yeah, thank you. I don't think I told you thank you. I think I told you thank you, but because you are proud, Sha, I must not amplify your pride. So now that we have successfully recorded the podcast episode, 20 minutes. Final words to me, oh, blow my own. Yes, blow my own.
I'm not blowing your horn. Oh my god! But I just want to let you know that
Calm down, you know in public, Sha. You know, and I'm very emotional.
Don't cry. I think that you are too hard on yourself. You don't give yourself flowers.
I'm scared for my life.
The flowers that you require.
Make you blow my horn. Let's see that.
Just as I say, I'm not blowing horn. I just want to let you know that.
Okay.
I think you are too hard on yourself. You don't give yourself the flowers that you require. There's a lot that you have to do, and I know that even based on what I know of your plans and the plans God has for you, you still have a lot to accomplish. But it does not mean that what you are doing so far has not made any sense. Because whether you know it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not, you are an inspiration to many people, including myself. You understand? So I think give yourself more grace than you give yourself right now.
I didn't cry. Thank you. There's so much I want to say to you, Lola, but so I'll say this like this, right? When I look back at the journeys in my life, and I think I mentioned that to you recently, at different junctions when I was going to give up or I was going to lose sight of some of the things that I was supposed to be focused on, you were actually there. And one experience that still comes in my mind is, I remember that time we were doing IT together. I was going through a lot financially, and I could barely even have like tickets to go to work. I was breaking down, but I would go to office and everybody would be shining tickets to me and everything. I remember one day you just casually said, how much do you, I think I was saying about to get something or something. I was like, oh, how much is it? And I just told you, I didn't tell you the mind that you wanted to send money to me. I was just sharing with my friend, and you pulled out your phone, and I knew you didn't have money. That was because this experience is one I always remember, right? Yeah, because it just felt like I have someone in my corner, and you pulled out your phone. I knew you had money because both of us were broke that period. You sent me the money, and you were like, "It's just this amount. Like, it's not that deep for you to be carry yourself, and then you know, you to the hard girl personality. She had this, so stand up, let's go. But I remember going home to really cry because it was, yes, I cried though. But I didn't tell you because I going to say, this is dinner, right? You know, I remember going home to cry that God really showed that He loves me and He is ready to get us my needs. And He did that through you. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for how you, and this is not just for me, it's for everybody. It's for Josh, it's for Grace, it's for every other person that you are in their corner. Everybody knows that with Lola, I can speak to you without the feeling of being judged. You have that balance. I don't know how you do it, but when you are listening to people, I'm conscious that you don't have a presumption about the situation. You're willing to hear me out. You're willing to call me out on my rubbish. And you're willing to pat my back when I'm doing well. Even though sometimes you still get go for nothing. So yeah, guys, thank you for listening to our conversation. What should I call the conversation with Laura?
My
So you can fly.
the laugh that they laugh in friends. I be laughing like an odo dress.
Nice person.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top.